Alright, so I recently played through Arzette, and here I've got some footage of me speedrunning through all the levels in a row because I forgot to record gameplay footage when I was doing my actual playthrough. But yeah, I'll admit I was nervous going into this game just because I'm not into Metroidvanias at all. I've tried some, classic Castlevanias and Metroids, and they just didn't click with me at all. I'm not that smart, I guess, at some of the puzzles and remembering where to go with your new abilities. Plus, I normally don't like backtracking and being forced to repeat myself. But I mean, come on, when you see a game that embraces the charm, if you can call it that, of the CDI, I mean, you got to give it a fair shot no matter what it is. And I'm actually not disappointed. I feel like the repetition of this game is within reason, if you know what you're doing. Which, thanks to the internet, anyone can know what they're doing now, but yeah, you can kind of just go through once, take your time, search every nook and cranny of the level, and then you might need to go back through once or twice, but then you're speed running, which is a whole other experience, and then thing that can almost make two speedrunning attempts through the same level unique enough to not feel like it's a forced waste of time is, giving you significant new abilities that really change up how fast you can go and what you're capable of doing. Once again, though, I got to thank the guides out there for helping, pointing me in the right direction, because I probably wouldn't have completed the game without them. I will say, and this might be a me problem, because once again, I'm not super familiar with the genre. This is the first game in the genre I've ever completed, as far as I'm aware. Actually, this was one level I did have to needlessly repeat because you spawn a fairy or something up there in that little lake with the trees, and I didn't realize you can actually jump on those trees to reach the fairy, so I completely skipped that. That was probably the most annoying setback I had in the game, which was, like I said, less than I was expecting. But with the guides, I feel like it wasn't as straightforward to read as I was expecting. I was expecting to see, a layout. This is the, most efficient order to complete the levels, and, make sure you get these items so you can continue. And that wasn't necessarily the case. It took a little, searching through the page and just some learning and practice to really, efficiently even use the guide, which is different from usual. But I'm not gonna lie, it was almost a little bit of a fun challenge in a way too for me. I will say the length could maybe be a concern for some people. Like, I felt like I did wait for the first sale, but I still feel like just the charm, tone, and quality of the game were well worth it. But I mean, you can see I'm tearing through these levels without the Metroidvania elements. Like, this game would probably be only like, I don't know. I think the speedrun took a little over 15 minutes, maybe without the abilities. It would maybe be a little over an hour, maybe. That's just a guesstimate. But overall, I was like 98%. I think there was a few like minor things in the opening town I didn't do, which I was okay with, just leaving it at that. And a few achievements I didn't get. But with, completing everything, I felt like doing within reason, which once again was a majority of the content. I think my total playtime, I think including the speedrun even too, was a little over 5 hours. So I know a lot of people sort of think about the whole, oh yeah, because I remember dying a lot in this section, even with the abilities. I don't know, I just couldn't get a good rhythm going here. But make that, of that length, what you will. But like I said, I feel like everything the game had to offer, and of course being a small new indie dev, I mean, the value there was me, but obviously that's very subjective on your opinions and resources and that. But yeah, I mean, the cutscenes obviously a big part of this game. I would say they lived up to expectations. A lot of cool references, I guess, too. Or, I mean, I guess not a super amount, but still some stuff. I felt like, particularly towards the Zelda series, but which is kind of expected. One thing I will say, this is a spoiler for the very end of the game, so back out if you don't want to hear it. It's not like a huge spoiler. I think, is it after the credits or after the final cutscene? They do say that Arzette will be back, which has me really curious as to, what they're looking for in the future with this franchise. Are they just going to do, a straight sequel? Maybe, up the scale more if they can? Or are they just going to go, like, I don't even know what kind of game Hotel Mario is. That's the Mario game on CDI. I might be wrong on that, though. There is a Mario game on CDI, though. So I don't know if they're going to go that direction, if there's other CDI games or other corny, notoriously bad games. Like, here they're trying to make a good version of CDI games. I don't know if they try to make, a good version of E.T. or Superman 64 in the Arzette world. Maybe they go the 3D dimension with it, like, Metroid and Castlevania would eventually do, too. Who knows? I'm definitely, on board, though. I'm looking forward to seeing what they come up with.